Good morning, everybody. Blvd with Enchanted Forest Reiki Center out of Las Vegas. Welcome, my enchanted friends. Today I wanted to talk about the law of attraction. It's definitely a hot topic that's been part of my entire career here, because certainly law of attraction is very real. There's a lot of thinking on that in the spiritual community, a lot of different books on that subject and classes on that subject. And it's certainly something I recommend everybody pursue. For myself, when I talk about the law of attraction, it's certainly part of my classes when I teach, full-on formal manifestation classes. It pretty much involves using that law of attraction. The law of attraction isn't just a spiritual thing. It's really kind of everyday life that involves that. So what I mean by that is your life will follow that of your perceptions. For instance, I'll just give an example. When you buy a red car, you're going to all of a sudden notice all the other red cars. You start to see the world differently. When you become pregnant, you start noticing all the other women who are pregnant that you didn't notice before. Even though there were plenty of pregnant women out there, or plenty of red cars out there, until it becomes in your radar and in your perceptions of life, you don't necessarily become aware of it. That's kind of the law of attraction. You are what you choose to perceive in life. If you believe that every man out there is not trustworthy and is a dirtbag, well, chances are you're going to attract that. You're going to attract the men who are dirtbags and da-da-da-da. But if you believe that there are good men out there, you'll find good men. It's just a part of the reality of what you attract. First of all, it's all that you're really going to notice. Law of attraction is part of your life every day. We're just not necessarily aware of it. When you have this belief system, then that's the only thing you really notice anyway. You're not going to be aware of the other things, because it's almost like you create a tunnel vision, just focused on your beliefs, things that will validate your beliefs, and you really kind of discard the other ones and don't even necessarily see them. In other words, you got to get out of your own way. If you're trying to attract something in your life, whether it's a relationship and love, or whether it's money or monetary successes, then you have to believe it yourself, and then become aware of it, that it is possible, and that it's there anyway, and that it's always been there. You just have to start pulling towards that. When I'm teaching my classes, I don't necessarily call them law of attraction classes, I call them manifestation classes, but I'm using the laws of attraction to manifest. You have to first believe in the possibility as an absolute fact that really anything in life that you want is possible, and don't doubt it for a second. Then when you get into that, you have to ask yourself, what is it that you truly want? Because part of the law of attraction is being very clear of what it is you want. And if you don't know, that law of attraction kind of goes out the door, because you have to have it very clear in your mind and in your heart as to what it is you want. Be sure about it. I love using myself as an example, because I know that when I finally realized I was done with the job that I had for most all of my adult life, which was sales, and that I was wanting to move on and open a Reiki place, I got quite a bit of what you call downloads from the universe and meditations as to how to pursue that. The one thing that was clear to me is that the universe was trying to explain to me, Debbie, what is it that you want to achieve from this? Why is it that you want to open up a Reiki center? And of course, part of those whys was I could see how beneficial Reiki was for me and my family, and I wanted to be able to help others. What I started to realize is how it felt in my heart, how it felt emotionally to have somebody say to me, gosh, I feel so much better. That was amazing. And to know that it was done simply through energy. It was fascinating to me. But when I thought about it, we are energy. That's all we are, is energy. If I'm able to step into your energy field through Reiki and possibly make some shifts to that energetically, not using drugs, surgeries, things like that, and just holistically, it was an amazing feeling. And when I would get those hugs from my family member or friends, that I worked on, saying, oh my God, watching the difference this Reiki session made, the feeling it felt in my heart was beyond anything I'd really felt before. My background in sales, I don't care how big of a sale I ever got in the past, it never felt as good as how it felt to help somebody through Reiki. Because the monetary aspect of a sale was the only thing that was really involved. Versus Reiki, I was helping people rebalance themselves energetically, mind, body, and spirit, and possibly making even profound differences. In that law of attraction energy, when I would sit in meditation with the idea of wanting to open that Reiki center, which is, of course, come to fruition, that's what I would sit with, is opening up my heart chakra and then bringing myself to that exact moment of the hug. Because that hug was the validation that everything was real. But as I pursued it more and studied everything more, I started to realize it was not only perceiving that moment, but understanding that, making that moment be my present moment, that it wasn't something in my future. It wasn't something that I was wishing for. It was an absolute. So I would open myself energetically to the north, the south, the east, the west, the heavens and the earth, and start creating like this magnetic field all around me, visualizing that moment of the hug, commanding that energy out there to the universe, and seeing it as my present moment, not my future, but my absolute present moment. And then understanding that the universe was going to take care of the rest, because each day that I practiced this moment of validation, of that hug, and then moved my energy out into the universe, seeing it, feeling it in my heart, feeling that moment, I was attracting that energy to me. Then I understood that the universe was going to start taking care of everything to make this moment happen, because I could see it, that it was meant to be in my life now. It was rather fascinating, because each day I could feel more and more calm. There wasn't worry that this was not going to happen. I began to know. I had a knowing that I cannot fully explain. Even when I wasn't doing it formally, I started to look back at my life and the things that I really wanted. And that when I really put my mind to something that I wanted, I got it. I don't know that there's a magic formula. I think that we all have this ability within us that when we really want something, we find a way. It's just that we have to know that it's what we want. And most people really struggle with indecision. You ever hear that word? Can't decide what you want? That's normal. But if you really do want something, then become it. Really become it. See it within your mind. Feel it within your body. Hear it within your auditory. Taste it within your mouth. Smell it. As an example, with that Reiki center, I started to see kind of how I would want to decorate it, and hear conversations, of just wonderful feedback with customers, and smell the Palo Santo and the sage that would be burning in the space, and just put myself fully there. I was there. That's really what law of attraction is saying. If you want something, believe in it. Believe in it with your whole heart, but believe in it with all of your being, in which you are becoming it. And you're seeing it as an absolute fact of it going to be in your life, and that it is going to be part of your future, which is going to be part of your present, and that the universe will guide you to make it clear and obvious the things that you need to do to make it happen. Something you really want in your life, chances are if you look back at your life, you got it. Whether it was an A on a test that you studied like crazy for, or a friendship that you developed, job that you wanted, whatever, chances are you can look back and say that there was at least one or more things in your life that when you really wanted it, you were able to get it and achieve it. And start journaling as to what were the things that you did that made that happen. And it was fascinating because in those coming weeks, from the moment I made an absolute decision that yes, I want to change in my life, I want to open up a Reiki center, and I started doing these meditations, attracting the energies of what was going to be needed to make that happen. It was amazing, the people that the universe would pull into my life. I remember just sitting at work with a colleague, with my other job that I had at the time, and then telling me about a program that UNLV was doing that was free for small businesses to learn the steps you need, the difference between an LLC, an S Corp and different things, and that it was a free class to help local businesses. And I know I would have never attracted that had I not been doing those exercises. It's like the universe brought that person to me. The universe brought to me a place to rent that was super affordable. And it just so happened that the place to rent, the owner of that place, wife was a Reiki master. Who knew? It was crazy things that started happening throughout those weeks as I was doing these law of attraction exercises and becoming what I was seeking, fully and completely and magnetically creating that pull. The universe just started presenting these things. And I had to get to a place where, no, I'm done. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm doing this. No, beyond anything that makes logical sense, that you deserve this and you can make this happen. And you just need a little help from the other side. Thank you again so much for watching. I hope that you're finding these videos beneficial. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions. We'll be happy to answer any questions, any thoughts, any feedback. It's always welcomed. I'm new to doing this thing. I guess it's part of the real world, to connect to other people. I live in Las Vegas, and of course that's a fun place to live, but I want to connect to people from all over the world. And if you have any key things that you feel or stories that you'd like to share about law of attraction, I'd love to hear about them. Feel free to reach out to me at Blvd@EnchantedForestReiki.com or reach out to our center. Have a blessed day.